Hey guys, this is Bruno. Not too long ago, I was invited by a Utah-based team to test their Mercedes-AMG GT3 car before the start of the 2019 SRO Block Paint Championship here in the United States. In this test, we were testing axles and brakes with the newer car, as requested by the team. On my first outing, I just had to keep the car at a 25% level, just warming up the car, warming up the brakes, ultimately nothing too severe on the car. My second outing, I was able to take it up to 50%, and then towards the end of the day, the team was allowing me to do 80 to 85%. So not completely being able to go full power, with that still being able to set quite competitive times on the R West track here at Utah Motorsports Campus. Here goes some images from on board, my pedal box, and also obviously from me driving around the Utah Motorsports Campus West track. Hope you enjoy, and looking forward to some opportunities to hopefully be back on track for the 2019 season. Thanks as always for your support, and all the best.
So Bruno, nice day, beautiful weather. So what brought you to the track today?
So I was invited to do a nice calm test, shakedown, breaking new parts on a Mercedes-AMG GT3 car. My first time in an actual GT3 car. I've been driving a lot in the Super Trofeo Lamborghinis. So I got a good idea, but this is a new experience with the GT3. Obviously it has its difference and different manufacturer as well, so that's a big thing. Car drive's totally different. But yeah, I was just doing bedding and brakes, changing brake rotors, and getting the car prepped for the 8 hours of Laguna Seca that's going on in 2 weeks. So it was an honor just to be able to drive the car, and then also if I'm lending out a helping hand, that's totally fine. That's the best way to help, is getting seat time, but just getting the car ready and shaken down for it to be ready to drive at Laguna in 2 weeks.
So now that you've just finished this test and your first test with the GT3 car, how can you give your viewers a comparison between Formula 3 Super Trofeo and a GT3 car like the Mercedes-AMG?
Obviously every car is different in any form of racing. Starting with Formula 3, you have a lot of downforce, low horsepower. Not low, but it's not too much horsepower. But mostly downforce is the main thing with Formula 3 cars, and there's no mechanical assist, whereas in the GT car you have traction control and ABS and things like that. So the big difference is downforce, weight of the car. It's just me in the car, no roll cage around me. It's a nice, easy view. And then when you transition into any kind of GT car, so we'll start with the Super Trofeo that I've been racing a lot recently, like in the 6-hour race and last weekend as well. You get traction control, ABS, a lot of assists that help the driver and facilitate it a little bit in the driving aspect. But obviously a lot more weight, so it's a lot different to drive, a lot different way to attack corners and braking zones and things like that. Where the GT3 car is similar in the sense of weight and everything like that, but it has a lot more downforce, so you can really carry the speed, a lot more speed. Widen up your entries a little bit just because the car will stick to the ground. And I could definitely feel it out here. The first couple laps I was obviously at a controlled pace because we were just shaking down things and the team didn't want me at 100% pretty much. But I was kind of driving as a Super Trofeo would, and there's a lot more time I can find. So after a little bit I got used to the GT3 car. It's my first time. I could really feel the downforce in it and power obviously, and it's a great car to drive. All cars are great to drive. I enjoy all of them, but there's definitely the differences, and weight and downforce and things like that are the main ones from Formula and GT.
So today we're not driving at the limit. So it was. What was the idea of, you progressed through the session? What was the whole idea?
Yeah, so there was a lot of bedding and brakes and new axles in the car, so they didn't want to put too much weight and load on the axle. It's because brand new, so I needed to warm it up, bring it up to working temperature pretty much. And so I started off just 25% on power, really taking it easy. Then started to warm up the brakes a little more. We put on new rotors, and got those bedded in all the way. And then we were trying different fuel pumps, things like that as well. So I just couldn't be on the power all the way. Then I started getting to 75%, and they let me progress a little more on power, getting more on the brakes and things like that as the bedding process was finishing, and then on the end they just wanted to check a couple last few things, tweaks. So there was a 8 lap sprint, but still like 80% power. So I wasn't able to push the car to its limit completely, or feel all the power, I guess. But it was still wonderful and still relatively quick for the scenario and everything, and just taking everything easy.
So what is the main goal? Obviously, sponsors. Looking forward for 2019?
Yeah, absolutely. Money and sponsors is the issue, and that was the issue for this season. I got a lot of great opportunities this year, working with Mix and Models, especially being able to run the 6-hour race thanks to them, and then just being in a car almost every other weekend or so with coaching and things like that. So it kind of made up for the loss. Obviously, I'm still sad I had to miss out on Formula 3 season. I felt we would have been competitive this year with a really good team with me, and then hopefully to get back in the seat. And always Formula cars is my dream and objective, but hopefully some GT possibility arises now. I've been able to prove a little bit that I can bring speed in a GT car, and so hopefully there's some opportunities in GT car, and trying to keep an open mind and anything like that, but focusing on being back in a Formula car, that's where I feel most at home. But now GT cars are into the picture, so we'll see. But regardless, I'll be working hard on sponsors wise, as everything is money at the moment, and counting on your support, and I appreciate all the support you guys give me to keep fighting on. So hopefully we'll have some good news, and I'll be back in the car doing what I love. So.